Hi there, my name is Fehr and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I didn't expect to make this video. I did reviews of all three volumes of Alan Moore's Marvelman, Miracleman, which I just love. Absolutely love. I read it when it first came out. Like, I was a few months. I only got on to worry about 8 issues in, which is where the first time it was done. Absolutely loved it. And the other day I was just looking for something to read, and I pulled off Neil Gaiman's first volume off the shelf to read. As I read Alan Moore's run, I thought, I'll give it a go, and I enjoyed it way more than I thought. So I think we'll do a review of it. I think it's actually going to lead to me to be doing reviews of Neil Gaiman and Dave McKean's books they did together, Violent Cases and Mr. Punch, I think Signal to Noise. Anyway, so a whole new whole new stream of programming for us to for your delight and your delection. Before we get into it though, can I ask you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? That will be fan-dabby double dozy. I am insanely and ridiculously, and I would say reasonably pathetically grateful for each and every one of you that subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my ongoing competition. So next one, the prize is not giving away this Sunday because I gave the last prize away too late. I forgot. I was meant to do it last Sunday and I forgot, so I pushed it off to the middle of the week. So anyway, this is going to run for a week and a half. Be the 22nd, I think, of November, day before Doctor Who's anniversary. That's cool. So the prize this week is the Mummy DVD collection, The Mummy and the Mummy Returns, the two good ones. These are the Brendan Fraser versions, not the Tom Cruise version. That's not very good. The Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, The Rock. Is The Rock in this one? Yeah, The Rock's in the second one. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag. What is the hashtag? Imhotep. That was the name of the person who became the mummy. If you do not know how to spell Imhotep, then no problem. I've got you covered, mate. Go check the video notes. Right now. All the instructions are there, and you just got to copy and paste the hashtag that's in the notes and put it in the comments. And you too can be entered to win this this wonderful prize of I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, the Mummy 2-disc DVD set. Fine, let's talk about this. This first volume. So now this is the first volume of what was supposed to be 3. They came out with, I think, the first, maybe the second. I never read the second issue. I think I wasn't quick enough to get the first, maybe the second issue of the second volume of Neil Gaiman's run, and then it vanished. That was like, I bet that'll be the 90s probably. Yeah, that'll be the 90s. So it's been a good 30 years. MIA, and then so about 8 years ago, Marvel said, we finally worked out all the problems with Marvelman, Miracleman, all the legal issues. We're going to start publishing it. We're going to start buying, and they did the Alan Moore's volumes. They couldn't put Alan Moore's name on it because Alan Moore's like, screw off, I don't want anything to do with you. And then they published this volume. And then Neil Gaiman's second volume, The Silver Age, is called The Golden Age, The Silver Age. Any second now. It's coming out. Any freaking second now. Here it comes. Any second now, and that was years ago. Years and years ago. So you know what? I had a crazy idea. I saw Mark Buckingham's on Facebook. I thought, why not just send him a message? Say, whatever happened? Because I thought you were drawing it. Whatever happened to Silver Age and the Dark Age? And he replied to me like about an hour or two later. I was really, really, really impressed. He replied to me that, and he said, "Yeah, it actually. So this is exclusive, okay? Because there's nobody talking about it." They did have some challenges, some problems. Probably some legal problems, I guess, that delayed it for like 2 years. And I didn't realize it was that long. But it's due to come out. They're working on it, and it is due to come out. I guess we'll probably see it in 2021. I mean, which is really very exciting because this volume is a opening salvo. You don't even get a hint, or you get the hints of a story, but you don't really get anything going on here. This is Neil Gaiman taking a walk in the universe that Alan Moore had created. So essentially, just bring you up to date. There was this 1950s superhero, Marvel Man, Miracleman. It was a retracing of Captain Marvel, and they published it in England, which is basically where all the legal problems started to come from. Turned out though that when Alan Moore bought it back, it was be 82, 83. He completely retconned the whole thing, and he said it was a crashed alien spaceship. This is over a number of years. A crashed alien spaceship technology was then used by a secret black ops British agency, which had like a former I can't say the word on YouTube, National Socialist from the 1930s scientist working on that technology and to create these super beings and to give them a context to put them in. He created this superhero world of fake memories. So basically, over a series of books, 3 books, the entire universe changes, the entire world changes as these aliens get come into work out where these super beings come, and it basically it recreates the world. It completely changes the world, which is what this volume is talking about. This is basically looking at what the world is like after these superhumans are introduced. So this is the cover. This volume might what do I have it over here? Yeah, this volume has basically everything in it that you could ever want to know about this volume, apart from, which is really interesting, the original Dave McKean covers, which they did for the Eclipse run, I think. Yeah, I think Eclipse was the company. Which were very good. But these covers by Mark Buckingham are in a similar style. There's a lot of collage in there and a lot of drawing. So they're trying to put the two things together, which is very Dave McKean-y. It's always a mistake actually to try and work in the same techniques as McKean, because he's so incredibly strong in every freaking way. Everything you do that's like him, it looks like a pale and poor imitation of his stuff. But as they don't have them in the book anyway, it's okay. It looks really just me and my my fevered imagination. So you also get the individual covers for this revival run in here. And again, look, they're great if you don't know about the McKean covers. So the first story is an interesting little story. It starts off. There's a group of people who want to pray to Miracleman, to Marvel Man. The Miracleman is now a sort of quasi deity. He's such an incredibly superpower thing. He's a quasi deity, and he has this massive fortress of solitude sort of thing in the middle of London. So you have these 4 characters who are going to climb the stairs to go and talk to Miracleman, Marvel Man, to ask them for stuff. To basically to ask him if they could do stuff. And it's this insane, torturous climb, which is the entirety of this issue. So basically, it's 6 roughly 25, 30-page stories of self-contained stories in this new universe. So you have this incredible odyssey of them climbing the hundreds of thousands of steps that go on and on and on for absolute ever. And I think they definitely recolored it. Coloring is absolutely gorgeous. They really did good. And I say this is some of Mark Buckham's most interesting stuff. But again, I just love the steps up and up and up. And you do get the feeling of this relentless up and up and up climbing. And you get to see all the different insane stuff that's from all around the universe that defies reality within Miracleman's castle, whatever whatever you want to kill it. And so they get to the top. You find them. They all have differing agendas. And I do like how they were, I think, bold enough to go in a very different artistic direction with this. It doesn't have that same superhero-y photorealistic that the volume 1 and 2 had with who was it? Gary Leach and Alan Davis, and Volume 3 was well, and then you had a bunch of different people for the end of it, where they really should have just paid Alan Davis to redraw that whole thing. That would have made it so much better a book. And then you had John Toldermain do the art for the third one, so which is like really markedly different. So I'm glad they're doing something markedly different, and I'm also glad that it's going to run for the entirety of all three books, which I'm really kind of excited that I think we're actually we're actually going to see now. So we get to the denouement when they get to the top and they finally meet Miracleman, Marvel Man, and they ask him for the different things. And it just kind of gives you a weird insight into his reality, into that world. So there's a backup strip that goes with each one, which is really the main plot for the novel, right? For the graphic novel. Everything else is just like, again, setting up the scene. So with the additional, the backup story, you kind of get like what's going on. They're looking for something in underspace, which is where they keep all the alternate bodies. The way the science works in this universe is you say some hypnotic control word, and then you have a duplicate body in a different parallel universe that's like a body storage, and this body happens to be superpowered, and you get swapped over. So this is them going to searching in this weird body space. You also get all the really incredible like backup stuff in it, like telling you how they did everything, all the sketches, all the black and white stuff, all the the ads that came out from the time. I have to tell you, the black and white art is really, really good. I wouldn't mind seeing a black and white version of it. Although this book really needs colouring, I think. Let me have a look. Who did the colouring in this? As I have the book literally right in front of me, it should say somewhere. Color art Disraeli. So Disraeli's very, very good. He's a pretty good artist in his own right. So the second story, interestingly, again, all these are like little Twilight Zone-esque stories within the Marvel Man universe. And I would say you don't really need to have read the Alan Moore run to enjoy these. But if you had read them, it's slightly better. And it takes place. The first one takes place in like '88. So this is like the subsequent 10 years after the end of the first book. So you have this guy who lives on his own in a windmill, and it's one of the they changed the power supply of the world to renewable energy, and this guy lives alone in this windmill farm, and he's kind of like obsessed with beauty. And then at one point he meets Miracle Woman, who comes down, who is the most incredibly beautiful person that he's ever seen, and probably ever to all have existed. And he starts like this interesting relationship with her. And again, you see his like his drive, his desire for beauty, how it's like making him not see the reality of the world. And so essentially they form a relationship together until like she changes and she moves from like her superhero form to a human form. And I think that's how he basically sees the humanity of it. And like again, in a very Neil Gaiman-esque touch, she's touching him with the finger as she turns, and because there's this massive flashing explosion when she turns, it like sears this little circle onto his back, which he kind of remembers to look inside more, to not see outside. Again, we get another really good backup strip here dealing with life in the post Miracle Man world, and it's got this very nice like Love and Rockets or Beano kind of feel, and you get to find out what kids are like in this world. And the at the end of the third book, you had this bad superhero who finally comes out and just destroys London and does the most insanely terrible things you can imagine. Well, you can't imagine. You actually need a mind like Alan Moore to really imagine real atrocities that an unfettered superhuman can make. And you see how he's being kind of like deified by the youth, the out of control youth of the day. Oh, if only the youth would dare fight evil. If that's all they're doing, I think the world would be better. And again, we have this ongoing backup strip where you got this little robot looking through underspace or something. And again, we get the sketches, the rate makings of everything. Very good. The third story deals with Moores, this alien body artist. So what they do for art in this on this alien in this alien civilization is they make bodies because they have very interchangeable bodies, and they are able to bring back the big villain Emil Garganza, who was the scientist who used the stolen alien technology. Is this as one? Yeah, stolen alien technology to create Marvel Man and the Marvel Man family. So they're able to bring him back from the dead. They find like a thigh bone of his, and they're able to clone him and bring back from the dead. And it's all about Andy Warhol being asked to look after him, who's also been brought back from the dead. So Andy Warhol is fascinated with cloning, about duplicating himself over and over and over again. So you get this very like Warhol-esque artwork for the issue, and they mention this in the last part of the Alan Moore run, and so when they brought back Andy Warhol, they asked to make like 16 of him. So they have this like real struggle with a sense of self. But really, I think this is mainly Mark Buckingham really enjoying Andy Warhol. Like we get a real Andy Warhol-esque appreciation as he's Garganza's guardian. I think this is probably one of the strongest pages. And great. It's a great little story, and takes you in a place that you're not expecting to go. The backup story keeps going, and now you find it gets to the bodies of the people that you know, and that's young kid Marvel Man, the big evil one, which I'm sure they're bringing back at some point. Pretty nice drawing of Neil Gaiman here by Mark Buckingham in the Andy Warhol style. So the fourth issue is deals with one of the children. They had this this program that you can become artificially inseminated with one of these superhumans, because they're basically at the end of the third book, Homo sapiens are on their way out, and this is the new generation. So this is a mother of one of these super babies, and how again. It's basically Neil Gaiman taking a walk in this incredible universe that Alan Moore, created. So this is about being a mother to something intrinsically stronger and better than you, and a sister and a brother. So it really deals with what that will be like, and you get this like kind of nice children's story in the middle of it, where you find out what's really been going on, and it's told in this really kind of interesting children's story type way. I kind of like the artwork here because it feels more like photo realistic, which I think this is where, for me anyway, I think it works better than the overly stylized stuff at the beginning, which I did prefer. But I do like how Mark Buckingham is going through, like he has a very big toolbox of stuff that he brings out for different things, and honestly I really think it works. I'm really looking forward to seeing the other one. But again, this is really much more photorealistic than the first issue. I wonder if this was a deliberate choice, or if this is just how he developed over time. I really do not know. But again, interesting. All these things, interesting story. Backup story keeps going, and you get an idea of what's happening. They've retrieved a body from under space, and they're growing a clone of it. Miracleman in the background. Again, just wonderful backup material. Favorite issue, favorite episode is this one, the spy issue. What do spies do in a world where everybody's open and honest and meets themselves? Because spies basically deal with lying and fear. So that's the question that we deal with issue 5. Emil Garganza, not Garganza, Evelyn Cream was a government assassin, and so you enter this very spyish world, and they do the whole thing in this like photocopying type way. So you do get that like 1990s spy film. I wouldn't say it's like 2020 spy, but you do get that 1990s spy film, and it kind of works. Again, I think they're doing something reasonably different with the art in every issue now. Yeah, I didn't even notice when I was reading it because I was just enjoying it too much. It's like a good, enjoyable story. I do like how this guy here feels like you're in the village. You're watching it's the prisoner. And again, story progresses, goes in interesting directions, and basically you find out that this is some kind of program to rehabilitate spies into this new wonderful world that they created. And so she ends up in a very different space at the end as opposed to where she was at the beginning. This one also has another pretty good backup story dealing with a side character. There was this little scene in Volume 2 where this kid meets Marvel Man in the forest, right? And before people know about him, Miracleman in the forest. And so this story is what happened to that kid, and you get a feeling that along with this entire volume, you get a feeling they're setting something up for Volume 2, which I've been waiting for 30 years. So I can't tell you where it's going to go, because this is just like, the opening building blocks for the story. I imagine it's probably going to be a pretty good, interesting story. I mean, Neil Gaiman, pretty good writer. Yeah, pretty good writer. The retrieval story carries on, and you basically work out, that was Dickie Dauntless. Young Miracle Man, young Marvel Man, who was killed and never seen it in it. So from what I understand, it's like this gay kid from the 1950s who was very closeted gay, being introduced into this very, very open world of the 2000s in the Marvel Man universe. That's basically Volume 2 from what I've seen on it, which is not much. And so then they have this quite a good little final issue. But again, I just love the extra stuff. I wish they would do this more in comics, because this is stuff I really enjoy. The final one is kind of like this thing tying everything up. I think that's probably one of the best covers as well. Tying up all the plots. We get to see everybody, and we get to see more of the world. What year is this set in? This is 94. So this is, I was gonna say 6-8 years after the end of volume 3, and it's like this big international festival where you get to see what the world has turned into, and it's a pretty interesting world. And again, you get to see little bits that they build up throughout the entirety of the volume. You got these punk guys over here are the Bateses, the countercultural people of that era. But again, they just live in a world of wonders and mysteries. Mammoth comes back. They created that incredible, very, very colourful superhero world that you expect to see if you walk down the street of a Silver Age comic. That's essentially where they are. You have a little bit here where they meet a what's it called? They're called a psychonaut. It was a psychonaut. This people who do lots and lots and lots of very, very hard drugs, and to explore the inner reaches of the human psyche. This is clearly Marvel Man who put a hat on, and so he can't be recognized. And again, you just know they're laying stuff out for volumes for volumes 2 and 3, which again I've been waiting 30 years to see. So are they doing it well? Well, they certainly laid it out well and truly in advance. This is one of the characters introduced at the end of volume 3, the Fire Drake. And they just have this massive big celebration, and so the retrieval thing finishes, and the backup strip, and you see young Miracle Man, young Marvel Man is back, continued in the Silver Age, which I do hope is going to be continued pretty darn. So look, this was the ad for it from this was from like I think 2017. Oh boy, do you remember how simple the world was in 2017? Yeah, not that way anymore. So there you go, Miracleman, The Golden Age, Neil Gaiman, Mark Buckingham. Darn good read, darn good, interesting read. But it's so tantalizing because you know it's just like it's laying the groundwork for a story which you have no clue what what it is that they're going to be telling. So, but still, I think we're going to be seeing it in about by this time next year. Hopefully, we'll be saying. But I'd said that. Pretty much every year for the last 20, 30 years. So who knows what dares to read. My name is Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.